much sauce, too much. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back in the garage for part 3 of the normally aspirated motor modifications and install. So this motor is going back into this car. The last video, for anybody who watched, it wasn't as detailed as I would have wanted it to be. Like, you'll see some details when it comes to taking apart the VTC and the old cam onto the new, dropping cams and stuff. And then I realized that I didn't even explain a whole lot of what I was doing, like which cams I was using and, you know, any like little specifics. So this video is going to be a little bit more structured. What I would prefer to do with this is just kind of get it done and get it back on the road, and I can enjoy the MR2 Spyder. And then the details are going to be in the completely new engine removal and engine K-swap install in the other MR2 Spyder, the turbo MR2 Spyder. So we're just going to cruise through the cam install, timing the motor. I think I have a little bit of footage of when I was doing the valve cover, wrinkled black coating, and this came out really good. I really like it. I'm gonna drape the harness on, plug everything in, get as much footage as I can of me doing that. And then that'll be part 3. And then part 4 is gonna be installing this back into the car, getting everything plugged in, and then the first start. I am very excited about that. Let's get into the install part 3. As I started the cam install, I realized it's probably a good idea to lube up everything to avoid metal and metal contact. Then I install the cam caps and start to tighten them down before realizing I was missing one of the pins holding the cams to the TDC position, so I corrected that. Then I checked all my timing marks and made sure everything was lined up. Something I noticed was how easy it was for the timing chain to slip off the correct lower timing mark. So I tried zip tying it as I installed the guides, and that worked for me. I'll have to double check the turbo motor because I think the timing may be off after timing this motor. Once that was done, I torqued down the guides and tensioner, cleaned up the mating surfaces, and went back up top to torque the cam caps. Once I got hang of the pattern, it was smooth sailing. Then it was just a matter of sealing up the motor and putting the accessories back on. This is the normally aspirated track motor, so it will not be getting AC. On the other side of the motor, I put the same disc and pressure plate back on and torqued them down to spec. A decision I hopefully will not regret later. Okay, so I got the transmission sitting on the end, just kind of pointed upward. And what I have to do now is get this all lubed up here, get this little spline lubed up, and then pop this up, get this little ball, and then get some lube in there, and then just get the throttle bearing on here and just make sure it moves back and forth nice and smooth. So that is going to be pretty quick, easy. Alright, so that's the grease is on there, and then if I get, reach down there, and that moves nice and slick. So I think we are good to go. Transmission is ready to get mated up. Here you can see I swapped over the old fuel rail with the new RDX injectors. The fuel rail is not the prettiest, so if it's an eyesore, it's barely visible, I may swap it out later. Alright, so my transmission is all mounted up and everything is looking good. I'm not going to use this valve cover, it's going to be the black one, but yeah, everything is mounted up, everything is looking good. I still have to cut this off and mount the stuff from the other transmission onto here. Pretty straightforward. Only thing left is the harness and the install, so we are looking good. Okay, I'm gonna just let it run. I already got a crap load of minutes already anyway. Just take a breather and they just come right off afterwards. Crazy, man. Crazy. Alright. I literally turned the camera off for a second and then said, screw it, I'm gonna keep going. And came right off. So same thing, orientation with this little keyway on the bottom and yellow black. So I'm gonna just kind of rotate that around so it looks like it's in the place that it wants to be in the harness, and the blade on top. Same thing here. All right, and then pushed up nice and firm on both of these. They're in place. Got a good firm grip through the lock on the floor. Pick the lock up. Double check that everything is firm. Good to go. And the gloves are getting in my way. They're slipping off my fingertips. Two pops. And nice and firm. So we're about to line up the harness. Kind of simple way to get it started is, oh, just tore my glove. So simple way to get this started, just kind of get that out of the way. And you want this thing right here, it goes right here. So I'm not gonna bolt everything down because I still have to put the stuff in, the coil packs, but I'm just gonna get the harness laid in place. And this stuff straights over, comes back around, get my fuel line out of the way. So this stuff is gonna go back. This right here is gonna go into the car, so it's going straight that way. And then this stuff I have to carefully pull up and route it around this way here. And This is the injectors that we just did. So this stuff is gonna go in here. So I'm just gonna plug in the first and the last. And with that, I have kind of like the right orientation. So now all I really need to do is just start routing these under here. Well, this plug just falls in the right spot, so just go ahead and plug that in right here. And where's the other one? This one falls in the right spot as well. Or is it this one, the blue plug? So this one falls in the right spot as well. The two blue plugs go on the end of your head. And I just make sure that that is the right way. So that's plugged in. And where is the ones for the transmission? Right here. So this plug right here goes into the transmission. So right here. Come on, baby. All right. And then let's see. So these are not the same. So I'll just kind of lightly place this back on. But I will need something for the solenoid, even though it's not going to work. This is the reverse blockout, I believe. And everything that I read basically says that just a plug-and-play solution just for the ECU that I have, the K Pro V4, it doesn't work. So I guess I'll find out soon enough. So yeah, I have this plug. I'll save this. As a matter of fact, I'll just plug this onto the other transmission in the same spot just to keep it as a kind of like a reminder. This is the I guess the map sensor that came off the JDM car. Well, this is the map sensor that came off the JDM car. It's in the exact same position. It's the same part. It looks the same, only the top is different with this big indentation right here. But I'm not sure if they work the same. I'll find out either in a good way or a bad. So this is the map sensor plug right here. And the throttle position, I needed the extension as a matter of fact. So this one I'm very familiar with, but that goes in here. Okay. And the idle air control valve, I'm gonna block this off. So I got the block off plate. All right, so I have here idle air control valve gasket. And this goes right here. And I didn't feel like messing with RTV and all that stuff, so I decided to go with the gasket. Quick, simple, clean, easy. And what we have here is a nice little billet aluminum block off plate for the idle air control valve. Comes with its own hardware, and I got my little tiny screwdriver, and that is really in there. All right, and then I guess I should pop this up too. All right, so we're just gonna pop these out. And we're just gonna replace this. It's pretty nice. All right, so that is nice and snug, and that's gonna work. So let's get this installed back on. All right, I think things get pretty straightforward down here. There's only so many places you can put stuff, so this little blade type connector right here, this little blade type connector right here goes right here on the starter solenoid. And then where's another wire? Oh, it's the power wire. All right, so this is the charge harness right here. This would be the other wire right here that goes on the starter, like right here on this positive terminal. And this is the knock sensor, single wire, and that goes just right here. This plugs into here to basically connect the two harnesses. So charge harness and engine harness connected. What else do we have? That's the starter stuff. And then this goes into the alternator, and this goes to the alternator. And this does not connect to anything. No, I don't have power steering, so this doesn't connect to anything. I believe this would have been power steering, but no power steering on this car, so this goes to nothing. So I'll probably just zip tie this down here. Once the motor's back in, this will go in the battery, and this goes into the fuse box, and we'll be ready to fire up. So I'm just gonna go get the gasket for this, and then I'll get everything hooked up, and the motor will be pretty much ready to go back inside the car. All right, so we're gonna get this installed back on, and I believe this can only go one way, and I believe this is correct. All right. Alright guys, here's the motor completely assembled, ready to go back in the car. The only thing I have to do is get everything lined up and get the line started, and once the lines behind the motor are started, I can start bolting everything down, tighten it up. But that's going to be the next video, part 4. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave comments down below. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.